Shalom. Want to start off source by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakodash. The belongs to the Apostle of Great Milton and honors you brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh's real name of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah or Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh, and the Son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, but meaning in, meaning then Sham, meaning name. So Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. This one is on the Church of England. I'd started putting this together yesterday, but Spirit had it whereby another story from the Church of England came out today as well, right? So this is on Church of England considers gender neutral pronouns, right? The Church of England to consider use of gender neutral terms for God. God is neither male nor female. Church of England considering gender neutral terms, right? And then today's one, right? Church of England backs plans to, bless that unholy matrimony, right? You can see there on screen, right? And this is the first thing that comes to mind. Let's bring this up first and foremost, right? Scripture says, Psalms 50:16, but unto the wicked, right? The Most High saith, what is thou to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, right? Because when you look at these individuals, right, would you see there in the, in the foreground of this picture, what looks like the scriptures, right? They've got all of this symbology that is related ultimately to the book of the Lord, right? The real book of the Lord. So these individuals are holding the real book of the Lord, basically professing wickedness and using it for wickedness, right? So the Most High is saying, yo, what you gonna do holding my scriptures, right? And then they're using that to put a spell on the people, right? To enchant the people, because both of these things that we've just read here are contrary to the scriptures, right? And they've got, these precepts there at the top, basically speaking on, the Most High, explicitly saying, I am a man, right? But then let's also get some of these, right? It's Leviticus 20:13. It says, if a man shall lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them, right? And now straight into the point, right? The Most High scripture says, let me keep, because I don't want to keep track of my thought process real quick. This is Malachi 3:6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Right? So this is explicitly saying that the Lord doesn't change. Right? Yahweh doesn't change. Right? What he said was off then. They ain't no place where it's like, oh yeah, no, this is cool now. Right? The Lord don't change. Right? And when Yahweh came on the scene, he didn't basically do away with those things either, right? Because that's the next thing. Oh, but when as they say Jesus, we know his real name is Yahushua. When Jesus came, he put an end to all of that. Nah, this is a Matthew 5:17 thing. Not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So the Lord Yahushua didn't come back to destroy the law. Didn't come to destroy the law, right? In fact, the second covenant is that we're going to keep the law fully, right? This is Hebrews 8 from verse 6. It says, but now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. For if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. And it wasn't the fact that the first covenant had fault. The fault was with us, with the Israelites, right? Because ultimately the law, such commandments, and really Yahweh was only dealing with the children of Israel, right? You read Isaiah the 40th chapter 15 verse, says that the other nations were as a drop of a bucket. It says, for finding fault with them, the Israelites, he said, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I'll make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. Right? So when the Lord gave us the first covenant, guess what happened? Right? We went off. You read the scriptures, it speaks about how Paul said, sin dwelleth in me, right? It says, for this is the covenant, Salakia. It says, for this is the covenant that I'll make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I'll put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I'll be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. Right? So the Lord here is saying, right, that the new covenant is going to be in our inward parts. Right? So that is the new covenant that is to come, right? Wherein we'll never sin ever again. Right, so this notion that the laws have are done away with, is foolishness, right? This is also now Deuteronomy. Get a few of these. Deuteronomy 22:5, right? It says, "Thou the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are an abomination unto Yahweh thy power." Right, because those people that like doing that whole gender neutral shit, right? They're the ones that will be doing a cross dress and doing all manner of this weird, weird lewd behaviors. Deuteronomy 23:1. He that is wounded in the stones or hath his privy member cut off shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh. Right? Once again, on them, on them, people that like to, change their plumbing or change their appearance, if you will, right? And then one must needs also get this, because basically what they're saying here in this particular one, right, to bless, you can't bless that union, right? That union is condemned, right? However, by you blessing it or saying, would you call it, and rightfully so, right, ostracize after it backs blessings, right? So yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, Slack, I lost my trail of thought. Yeah, that's it. The word work the Abishimel Shai. But you blessing it, what you're actually doing is you're basically with it, right? You are effectively saying that you're down with it, right? Because someone who isn't against that lifestyle, right? Let's say they were on the night out, right? And then they got drunk, and then some geezer made a move to them. If they're not actively against that shit, they're not going to be offended by that, right? But that is an offense, right? It's a grievous offense. This is Romans 1:26. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature, right? And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet, right? So when you see these guys getting syphilis, when you see them getting whatever kind of messed up diseases these guys, because I'm unfortunate to work with a few of these motherfuckers, right? And you walk past, you, they got that funny smell on them, right? They got that weird ass voice on them, right? Why? Because that demon, it all sounds the same, right? It says, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meat. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind, right? So the Most High is the one that made you like that, right? Doesn't mean he ain't gonna judge you for it, though. It says to do those things which are not convenient, right? Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable and merciful, who knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. And that's why I read this particular chapter here, right? For that verse, right? Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them, right? You'll have certain people that will go to pride events, right? Because they're women's, like, oh, babe, we should go, whatever, right? And the thing is, they'll go and they'll be like, oh, I ain't down with it, babe, right? But guess what? Whilst they're there, they might as well be a part of it, right? That's those people that say they ain't, they don't go that way. But if once again, if you ain't got a disdain for this, for these behaviors, then you might as well be with it, right? This is Exodus 15:3 on the other point, right? It says Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name, right? And that's plain and to the point. Yeah, after that, you know, it's something that's been covered many times. Like the scriptures, all over the scriptures, it says, I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a man, right? My father, right? you know, but Yahweh is a man of war, right? A man of war, right? And when you read into the scriptures, right, Lord's, this is really a very patriarchal book, right? These scriptures, that's why for the most part, people are, you always getting on women. For the most part, there's men being God, right? However, by extension, that also means the women are being God on, because we're all under, whether it's a man or a woman, Israelite man or Israelite woman, they still got to follow the law, right? But the Most High's deal, because that's the order, right? Yahweh deals with Yahweh Shai deals with the man, and the man deals with the woman. Now that's just the order of things, okay? That's the thing, people want to put, too much, want to uplift the woman too much, man. She's just a woman. This is Daniel 7:9. It says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. Right, his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as the burning fire. Right, is the his. That's all you see. His. Right, thrones were cast down, all the kingdoms of the earth until now. Ancient of Days is Yahweh. Right, he doesn't have a beginning nor an end. Right, Yahweh on the other hand is the beginning and the end. Right, Revelation 1:8 says his wheels as burning fire chariot. Okay, and then last one. John 14:8. Philip saith unto him, Lord, show us the what? The Father. The what? The Father. Right? Not the mother, not the entity. It doesn't say, Lord, show us the entity. No, it says, Lord, show us the Father. Right? And it sufficeth us. And Yahushua said unto him, right? And Yahushua came as a man, right? He says, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father? Right? And that's it. Right, so once again, these basic things, man. These people, blasphemy. Right, he's joking around, but yeah, man, these people are speaking things outside the scriptures, outside the doctrine, whilst trying to hold the scriptures in their hand at the same time, going completely against the scriptures, right? And that's why, for instance, when people come up to the camp, they try to trip us up, right? Because the problem with these Christians, they're trying to mold the scriptures into this world. Now, the scriptures are against this world, right? The scriptures talk about that in several times. I've plucked you out of the world, right? Be not conformed with the world. That's what they're supposed to be doing, but these Christians are trying to be fully conformed with the world, right? So I'll read this again and close it out. Psalms 50:16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, so that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? All right, so as always, Lord, with us edifying, until next time we say, Shalom.